Hello, Momos. It is I. I'm working. So, I thought we would have a little chat while I wait for some medicine to be prescribed to me because your girl's got a yeast infection, okay? I know that's probably TMI, but, you know, I'm the TMI girl. Honestly, I should make a shirt that says I'm the TMI girl. Comment below if you would buy a piece of merch that says that. Maybe we could come up with a better slogan, but something like that. Anywho, do you see me? Do I look exhausted? I have pimples because not only do I have a yeast infection, I'm on my period. I'm looking like this because the last several nights have been rough. Say a prayer that we get sleep at night figured out. But I wanted to come on here and have a little raw chat with you guys about my breastfeeding journey. I was gonna make a real sit down video where I put together and blah blah blah, but honestly we ain't got time for that, so let's get to it. Alright, as you all might know if you follow me on Instagram, and I don't know if I've talked about it a little bit on the channel, but I have struggled with breastfeeding very much. Part of it, I believe, is from my C-section. I know that women who have specifically emergency C-sections struggle with breastfeeding. Part of it is because of the medication that they're on. I also was on a heavy, crazy antibiotics for like 7 days. And I've been told that too can affect it. So it's really just a lot of things. I don't know, what the for sure thing is. But anyways, I struggled. My milk didn't come in for a while. Then it did. Then it came in way too much. And it was making Luca very mad. So he didn't want to be on me. And basically for the 3 first months of his life, we were just constantly trying to figure something out. I would pump and give it to him through a bottle. I ended up having to get donor's milk, which has been literally such a blessing because I really wanted to keep him on breast milk for as long as I could. I had this whole plan in my head of nothing will touch his mouth that isn't breast milk for the first year of his life. Well, here we are 3 months later, and now he is doing donor's breast milk from 2 ladies that my mom actually knows and found them, and they're amazing. And have blessed me and my baby boy very much so. But also we're supplementing with formula as well because I'm trying to make the breast milk last as long as possible. Yes, they're replenishing my supply, but I'm I can't, rely on them forever. So by 6 months, I believe that I'm going to introduce some solid foods to them. And that will also help with making the supply last a little longer. But basically, if we get to 6 months and we don't have breast milk anymore, I feel, and Paul, we both feel at peace about that, and we'll just do formula. We've been doing Kendamil, and he's responded to it really well, and it's been very good. So I'm really thankful for that because I was very scared that he was not going to have a good response to it. But literally the first bottle, he chugged it down. He pooped while eating that bottle, which granted he hadn't pooped in over a week, so I was glad for that. And then he pooped 2 more times that day, just cleaning out his system, I guess. I don't know. But now his poops are much more regular, once a day or every other day. So it's been a journey, you guys. I have wept. The month and a half into us having Luca, I can't tell you how many times I had wept over what we were gonna do for him and if how we were going to like keep him alive. Because I was so anxious and filled with so much fear about the idea of giving him formula, or like, yeah, hearing things about like, if you don't breastfeed, you won't have a connection with your child, and if you don't breastfeed, then you know, it's just way better. And I get it, like breastfeeding is the best thing that you can do, but if you can't do it, it's okay. And the fact that, you know, I follow so many accounts, and I went on an Instagram rant recently about this, but I followed so many accounts that like really pushed the all natural way of literally everything, and that if you had to bring in any supplementation of any kind that wasn't natural, like you were failing your child and killing them, basically, is how it felt like. Like that's the amount of like fear that was going into my brain and that I was carrying. And then I just finally realized, one, unfollow all of these accounts, but two, like, I am my child's mom. I care for my child more than anyone on this stinking planet. I want what is absolutely best for him. And breastfeeding for my son and I, it was not working. He was losing weight. He was very unhappy. I was very stressed out, anxious, fearful, sad, unhappy. And so like not being able to be the greatest mom for him that I could be, because I was struggling with so much crap going on in my mind, it was not the best thing for my son. And for any account to tell me to just keep pushing through and you'll figure it out and it'll be fine and you'll get it figured out and then it'll be great. I'm like, no, I'm sorry, but I pushed for a long time and it didn't work. And I maybe could have continued pushing, but again, like mentally and physically, I wasn't doing great. And so I was over it. And I ended up right around Christmas time, right after Christmas, drying up. I was like pumping a few times a day, trying to continue to like store milk up so that like he would drink from the milk supply from the donors, and then I'd build the stash back up with my milk, and it was not working. I was pumping multiple times a day and was making maybe an ounce, half an ounce, less than half an ounce. Like it just wasn't working. I'm gonna re-pick this conversation up after I go pick up my medicine and put Luca down for a nap. See y'all in a moment. Hey guys, it is the next day, but here we are picking our conversation up. I was very relieved to be done with breastfeeding. It was just, our life was so much more peaceful when we really just got in the flow of donors, milk, and formula. We only really in the past week have started formula, but like I said, it's gone really well and I'm really thankful for that. He seems honestly to like the formula maybe a little better. I don't know why, but we're still, majority of what he gets is breast milk, which again, like I said, who cares? Like what they're getting, as long as they're getting food and staying alive. And I just want to talk to you mamas out there and you ladies out there who will be moms one day, to encourage you to drown out the noise. I said this on Instagram, I said it on our other YouTube channel, and I'll say it again here. We live in an information generation, and it's really cool, but it's also really damaging because there's so much information out there that it's like, what do we listen to? What do we not listen to? All this stuff sounds like really good and statistically correct and accurate, and so if I don't do this, does that mean I'm totally failing? It just is exhausting. I remember being on a walk with Paul and Luca when he was probably like a month and a half old, and I was very stressed out at this point about breastfeeding and just not knowing what to do, and like reading so much stuff online, and I said out loud, like, what did people do in the 1800s, in the early Jesus times? Like, they had no information. They just talked to their little circle of women around them, or they talked to absolutely no one because they lived out in the middle of nowhere country land, and had no neighbors or community to talk to, and they just figured it out. I think that back then they were probably so much more in tune with their motherly instincts than we are, honestly, to this day at this point in time in life, because of how much information is being poured out and pushed down our throats constantly. It's like, it just makes it that much harder to just get in tune with your God-given motherly instincts and forget about what everyone is yelling at you through social media and wherever else. And so, I don't know. I'm just here to encourage you and tell you that your baby is going to be so amazing. Whether you do breastfeeding, breast milk through a bottle, formula, a mixture of it all, whatever, like, please don't spend weeks, days, months dreading or regretting the way that you have taken care and provided for your child, because the only thing that matters is that you took care and provided for your child. Like, that's it. That's all that matters, okay? I think that, again, like, the world that we live in is just exhausting, and it's easy to just feel like you're doing a terrible job. And I'm here to say that you're not. I'm here to say that I was not. I was doing every stinking thing in my power to make sure that I was taking care of this little baby boy. Me and Paul both were, and that's what matters. And I'm so at peace with what we're at now, and I can't tell you how nice it is. But I won't lie, like, even now, like, knowing that he's on formula, there are some people in my life or online that I'm like, oh, what are they gonna think, knowing that he's on taking one bottle a day of formula? And it's like, who cares what they think? This is not their child. This is my child. And I'm taking care of him, and I love him so much. I think you're done with this. You did pretty good. You did really good, actually. Are you all done? You want to say hi? And that's how we do it here, folks. Yeah, that's how we do it. Love you. So, all this to say, I hope that this video encourages you mamas or soon-to-be mamas out there or future mamas out there. And I hope that my channel can be a channel of just constant encouragement and laughter and joy. Yeah, he's just started really wanting to chew on my fingers. Is that good? Is that yummy? And just, like, yeah, joy from the Lord and encouragement from the Lord. Always go to the Father for the wisdom on how to provide for your child, because our Heavenly Father is the best example and the wisest one that we could go to for guidance. So, I love you guys so much. Thanks for having this Mama Momo chat, and we'll see you very soon. Say bye-bye. Bye, you guys. Hope you have a great rest of your week. Remember that Jesus is the answer. Jesus is the answer. Bye.